Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex. Presented by G2G Bars.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is JJ and Alex, 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone. It is a Utah Hockey Club game day right here on your radio home of the Utah Hockey Club, 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone. Puck drop tonight, 7 p.m. across the street at Delta Center. The Colorado Avalanche. This is one of those teams, JJ, that we're teaching everyone to start to learn to hate.
Well, there's a lot of people in our community that love them a little bit too much.
That's what I'm saying.
What I mean.
That's what I'm saying. And so
we got to change it.
We're of course, this is our first year of dipping into the NHL with the hockey club here in town, and we're learning so many things across the board and just getting into it. And one of the people who's going to help us in this effort to try to learn a little bit more, Ryan Boulding, covering the Colorado Avalanche for NHL.com. Ryan, we're supposed to hate the Colorado Avalanche. Give us some things to hate about you guys so we can get started off the right foot here.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves to hate a winner, right? And that's what
there you
team
go.
is and should be.
That's a good place to start. Well, let me start with the Central Division. My goodness, the Utah Hockey Club just lost a tough one in a shootout to the Wild, so we got a chance to see them on Tuesday night. The Jets got off to a great start. We know who the stars are, and of course the Avalanche, just won a cup just a couple years ago. How tough is this division?
Yeah, I feel like the Central Division is always the leader in the West, and then every season somehow the arms race just takes it up a notch. Mm-hmm. You mentioned Minnesota. Minnesota is kind of a surprise, but they've been on a tear. Winnipeg had the incredible start, and I think have cooled off a little bit, but probably got the best goaltender in the league there. So when they have it all going, I mean, they're very dangerous. And then this Avalanche team, they're still in their window. They should be a highly competitive team, and they've struggled a bit this year. But when they're firing on all cylinders, you're going to start to see them climb up the standings as well.
Well, we've already seen a lot of it, right, where they had the slow start and then have kind of come into a bit more of what the team is that I think we were expecting in that Central Division. And so give us an idea of what makes this Avalanche team dangerous and why they are so competitive and why that window is open. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, they've got one of the top 5 or 2 of the top 10 best forwards in the NHL, Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen. I mean, each of those players had 5 points in their last game at Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh has been struggling. Rantanen had his 3rd hat trick of the season. He's in a contract year, so he's also showing that he's going to make a lot of money. Nathan McKinnon, again, one of the premier players. And then the team also has the best defenseman in the NHL in Cale Makar. He can play defense. He's very potent on offense. This is a team that will kill you on the power play, although that has been struggling for them lately. You don't want to be, in a man advantage situation against them. And when they have it all together, when they have goaltending, when they're getting their defensive system as a 5-man unit out there, and they're getting the offense from their top forwards, I mean, it's very hard for any team to beat them.
As someone who covers the league and is on this beat, you talk to a lot of people around the league, I'm sure. I'm curious to get what you're hearing or what you've talked to people about when it comes to Utah Hockey Club. How much respect or how much what's the league's reaction? People you talked about around the league about what this club has been able to accomplish in a short period of time and what they've been able to put out there on the ice this year so far.
Yeah, I think all eyes are on the program, just not because it's new, but because, in Arizona it was an up-and-coming program. I think Andre has done a good job coaching the squad. He's coached young players to success in the past. And I actually briefly worked with him when he was an assistant coach with the Avalanche. So I've known him a while, and I've been very impressed at how he has found success everywhere he's gone. And then you look at the lineup. It's a younger lineup. You added some veteran players around that young core, and you want to see them build from there and start to have success. And I think they had a good start to the season. Struggled a little bit, although many teams did this season, I think, outside of the Winnipegs and Minnesotas. Struggled in the first kind of quarter there. And then it seems like they're playing their best stretch of hockey right now. It was an overtime loss to Minnesota, a heartbreaker. But, I mean, the fact that they can compete there, it's a great sign. And then you want to see them come out and do the same thing here against the Avalanche. And the Avalanche have something to prove to themselves, so it's going to be a tough game. This team just turned over its entire goalie tandem before Christmas. It's never been done in the NHL before. So it's almost like on the back end, this is a whole new team, which makes it a little hard maybe to prep scouting reports on and things like that. But, I think Utah stands a very good chance as long as they can play their game and not let the Avalanche get to their own game.
Yeah, tell us about that. What's the situation with goaltender for Colorado, and who are they going to roll out there tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be Scott Wedgwood tonight. So they traded for Scott Wedgwood, I think, about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, in a trade with the Nashville Predators for Justus Annunen. Annunen was a young guy who was kind of goalie of the future for the Avalanche. So now they're going to be looking to their guy Ilya Nabokov in the KHL to maybe be that next guy to come in down the road here. And then they traded Alexander Georgiev to the San Jose Sharks for Giovanni Smith and Mackenzie Blackwood. Blackwood's been sick. He didn't join the team on the road trip, and he's not going to play tonight. I think the expectation is he'll play backup to Scott Wedgwood. But it's two guys who are coming in, and the word that's been thrown around a lot is juice. They bring juice with them. And what does that mean? I think we're still kind of figuring that out. That's kind of the phrase of the year, I think, for the Avalanche. But two guys that are competitive and I think outspoken in the locker room or more vocal. It's I think when the team isn't winning and there's starting to be some blame on a position, the goaltending just hasn't been up to snuff for the Avalanche. You could see some rifts or divisions in the locker room, and I'm not saying I saw that, but you had, two European goalies who are maybe on the quieter side, less outgoing side, probably didn't help their cause in the locker room. So now you've got two guys who are bringing that juice with them in the locker room, and we're going to have to see what they can do. But Scott Wedgwood has been great. He's played 5 games, started 4 games. And, I think just even in his first showing, he was out there. It was the Avs were down 4-0 in the first period at Buffalo. He came in relief, and he really just gave it his all. You could tell he was playing hard to get the team back into it to win. And that's what this team needs right now. That can make them dangerous.
Well, we're looking forward to it tonight. Another matchup where we're able to see this thing between the Avalanche and the Utah Hockey Club. It's a big deal for us here, and we're learning as we go here. And it's been just such a fun year for us so far. And this Utah Hockey Club, I think we all realize they're not, the team that's going to be in the going deep in the Stanley Cup playoffs quite yet. But we have quite the bright future here, and for a winter sports town to finally have an NHL team here, it's a big deal, and so we appreciate you coming on and breaking it down here for us for the Avs. Ryan Boulding, covering the Colorado Avalanche for the NHL.com. Thanks, Ryan. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to see what this program does.
Yeah, have fun tonight.
Yeah, should be awesome. My goodness. I'm trying to figure out how big of a win this would be. Like, you get one at home. It's the Avalanche. How good this team is because they started out 0-4, and I think they were even 1-6 at one point, and now they're 17-13. And so you
along with Nashville. I remember we were looking early on because we were really interested.
The Preds were struggling early.
The two teams we thought would be at the top of the standings in the division be at the bottom, and now both of those teams are having to crawl back out.
And they're doing it, by the way.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, Nashville's still got a longer way to go, but Colorado's been better at that. But you look what the Wild and the Winnipeg Jets are doing, and this is why the NHL's great, is because if teams have consistency, they remain healthy, and they play really good hockey together, anything's possible. It's not like the NBA where if you don't have LeBron James or Kevin Durant, you don't have a chance, right? And so it's interesting how these things can flip year to year. It's almost like the NFL in that way.